Now it's time for the big boys with cool toys tech tip of the week.
Hi, I'm Alex Morgan, and today's tech tip of the week is that what's the difference between a flight simulator and the real thing? Well, flight simulators, I believe, are at least anywhere from 95% accurate to almost completely accurate. But one thing that flight simulators don't give you is it doesn't teach you how to tool on your vehicles or on your planes, boats, or helicopters. What I like to do is always tell people the simulation is great for wind conditions and learning how to take off and land, but the simulator is there for the advanced tricks, the stuff that you want to try at home at night, like barrel rolls, inverted flight with helicopters. That's what simulators are really, really good for. But you still have to learn on the basic models how to tool and fix them yourself. And that's your tech tip of the week.
What is the good heli to start with for a beginner who's never flown a heli?
Well, there's a couple different options that you can have, all right? There is a small one for indoors, in the house. And a lot of people look at the counter-rotating ones, like the double-bladed ones like this.
So it is quite simple.
Oh, it's very simple. Indoor flying with this one, right? Indoor flying and a bit of backyard flying with this one. I prefer this one because it's a little heavier, so you can use it out in the backyard wind. This one's more for in the house or if you want to take it to the office. It's easier to work on this one because the pieces are a lot bigger, okay? But because the pieces are bigger and everything's flying a little faster and everything in general, and it's heavier, when it does hit something, it will break a little easier than the micro one. What's really cool about the micro one, which the big one actually can't do, is actually it can land on its side like this, and just by giving it a little throttle, it will pop itself back up.
Wow, that's really neat.
One of the first things that you should always do is you should turn on your transmitter, right? And then you plug in your helicopter. But you always have to make sure your throttle's down, or on the bigger helicopters, they may have a throttle hold. So once it's down and you plug in the battery, which we're going to do right now, and it's plugged in, okay, you give it a second so that it can bind to each other, so it can read that it's
yeah, it made a little click there.
And it
clicks.
It
made a little click.
And then you're ready to fly. So right now, we're going to take off and fly with it. And as I said, right out of the box, this is how smooth they are. They're so smooth, right?
And this is the same one you bent the blades on.
Oh yeah, bent the blades and everything. I mean, look, my hands are off the controller, and that's it. That's how easy it is right out of the box. And it has full control, so you can go full, side to side. You can go forward with it. You can go bring it backwards. You can bring it left. You can bring it right.
Now show me some of the basics with this one, because I've never flown before, so it looks kind of scary to me.
Well,
it's a bigger helicopter and...
There is training gear, and obviously when you're first starting, you wouldn't take off of a counter like we're doing here. But if we bring it onto the floor and learn how to just pan forward on the floor, just to bring the nose forward and to bring the nose and bring it backwards right to the same spot, and then learn to go left with the helicopter, and then learn to bring it back to the middle. And as you get good at that, you'll be able to do all your maneuvers on the floor. Once you get better, and in the air, like we're going to try right now, once you get better, you'll be able to maneuver forward with it. You'll come back to the middle with it. You'll go to the left with it, right? You'll bring it over back to the middle. You'll bring it to the right. You bring it back to the middle. And then you go backwards with it. And then you bring it back to the middle. And once you get past all of that, you get into learning how to fly it with the nose in. This is what we call nose in towards you. Now, all the controls on the right-hand side here are all backwards. So it's another step to
Oh, that's
to
another step. So, but let's stay with the baby steps.
But that's
now.
where you keep going with this helicopter. So it's not as simple as just learning that.
No.
There is more to this helicopter.
There is more to it.